Utah State.
Hello, Utah State.
She's an alum. I wish I was.
She went to BYU.
I didn't go there. That's the joke.
Marshall sent us some questions from your class about our lives and our family. We're going to answer those questions for you.
How did you and your partner meet and then decide to become long-term partners?
Megan and I met at the high school where I teach right now. She walked into my room one day and she had this confident swagger about her. Lesbians have a confident swagger about them. Mm-hmm. And I went on her Facebook page and it said that she graduated from BYU, and I was like, oh, dang it. She's not gay. And then I was wrong.
It's true.
She was gay as the day.
I was in the process of coming out at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met, immediately had a huge connection and decided that this is something we wanted.
Okay, next question. Are you and your partner married?
Yes, we got married June 29th, 2012 in New York.
Yes, we did, when it was legalized in New York. And then when it was...
I'm so proud that I remember that.
Then when it was made legal here in Utah, we rushed the courthouse and got married here in Utah also because we wanted to make sure that our family would be a legitimate family here in Utah.
Mm-hmm. How did you and your partner decide to have children? How did your children come to you? So adoption, sperm donation, previous relationship, etc. How did you guys decide how to have your children?
So here's the deal. With our kids, we have 2 children. We have a daughter who's 2 years old, and we have a son who's brand new. He's a month and a half old now.
Yep, Quinn and Tucker.
And we actually had our kids through sperm donation.
We used a cryobank in California. We wanted someone who was going to be anonymous, but we never wanted to know who they were. We wanted our family to be just us. We're so grateful for that anonymous donor.
One of the reasons we wanted to do an anonymous donor is because we wanted to be our kids' parents. We didn't want there to be confusion about that. So, when our daughter is 16 years old and mad at us, she's not going to call some random stranger to get advice, but that she'd get advice from me and her mom. And
or grandparents,
aunts and uncles.
Mm-hmm.
We have a huge family unit, and we didn't want this stranger to have an influence on our kids if we didn't know his values and things about him. But we were really grateful to whoever he is.
Yeah.
Our kids are beautiful.
Candace carried both of our kids like a boss.
Yeah, I did. Boom.
Boom. She was great.
Do you and your partner play traditional breadwinner homemaker roles?
We determined roles in our family based off of skill set. I love working, and I worked for 4 years and taught with Candace at the high school, and I taught history. But when we had 2 kids, I felt like it was important for me and for us as a family to have me stay at home and watch the kids. And so I've been doing that and kind of doing real estate part-time. So
she is great. She's a great mom.
So based off of skill set, there are things that Candace does, like making our home beautiful, planning parties. I'm a little bit more of a clean freak, a little bit more organized, and I make sure we stick to our schedule.
When Quinn, our daughter, gets hurt, she comes to me and I cuddle her and swaddle her, and when she wants to play, she goes to Megan.
I tell her to rub dirt in it.
Yeah.
Come on, soak it up.
Exactly.
Do you believe your children need influences from the opposite gender of you and your couple? If so, how do you provide that influence?
We do. We think that our kids need to have influences in their lives, both male and female, and we have lots of those. In fact, our daughter's very best friend in the whole world is Megan's dad. Mm-hmm. They are peas in a pod. They're such good buddies. Challenges faced. What are some of the unique social challenges that you and your family face? Living in Utah is not always fun.
No, living in Utah is really tough. It's hard to grow up in the social norm and then to find yourself later in life being marginalized. That's a really weird experience. Mm-hmm. Where I used to fit in, I used to be like everyone else, and then all of a sudden I'm different. So that's been a very unique challenge where I enjoyed fitting in, I enjoyed
having that privilege,
and then having that stripped away from me when I came out and when I chose to live authentically and to be myself. Mm-hmm. What are the unique legal challenges that you and your family face?
We had to have Megan adopt our daughter,
Yeah, second parent adoption.
We had to do a second parent adoption, it's a step parent adoption. It's expensive to do a step parent adoption. With that said, our second child, our son, he didn't need a step parent adoption because our good friends Angie and Cammie sued the state of Utah.
Yeah, they fought the good fight.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's just things that no one thinks about. Like everyone's like, well, why do they both want to be on the birth certificate? That seems like such special privileges. I remember reading that all over the Deseret News. I'm thinking, no. If it was a straight couple and they used a cryobank, he's automatically on the birth certificate, no questions asked. So we're not asking for special privileges. We're asking
for the same
thing.
Exactly. Is the legitimacy of a family or a parent ever challenged?
No, not recently, actually.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, no, I would say when we first got married, it was yes all the time. And when we told family members or anyone that we wanted to have kids, there were some family members that just weren't on board yet. And society 4 years ago wasn't ready for couples like us. And really, it's remarkable that in just a couple years, we've seen so much change.
Another question on here that we're giving was, what was the reaction from our extended family when we told them we wanted children and to become a family?
There was a lot of disapproval in the beginning. Already in a decade, there's just been so many changes. And our families have also gone through that progression. As we've been more open, as we've been more visible, people are seeing families like ours. And they don't seem to be so abhorred anymore. They're more accepting and more kind. And what's the biggest challenge our family faces? Like specifically to a same-sex couple in Utah, I think the biggest challenge is going to be the latest policy change with the LDS Church, because that really drew a line in the sand and made families like ours clearly unwanted. And so I think we feel that, and I worry that our kids are going to feel that in the future. So that's about it, though. Other than that, it's like regular family issues. How do we get our kids in the best school? How do we make sure they're safe and they're taken care of?
Yeah.
And they're educated.
The last question on here is about how we feel as parents and how do we feel about being a parent and what do we love about being parents. And being a parent is hard, of course. It's hard for anyone. I think everyone always says, oh, you just wait when you're pregnant. Everyone's like, oh, you just wait, that baby's going to rock your world. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'll have to wake up and change diapers. I can handle it. But then the baby comes and it rocks your world in a way that you never even expect. You can't just stop at a grocery store and pick up a couple things on the way home from work now. You have kids in the car and you can't unbuckle that car seat again because that kid's going to blow their lid if you do.
So hard.
With that said, we love our kids.
They're hilarious and they're weird and they're awkward and yeah, I mean for me it's watching them take on new experiences. So Quinn, who's a 2-year-old, she's rumble-tumble all over the place, fiercely independent, and
she's a firecracker.
And Tucker, and we're probably done with 2 kids, and so having Tucker, watching him go through this newborn, he's a month and a half now. It's so fun to just
cherish every minute.
Yeah, of this little newborn, and that's really kind of fun.
But one thing I wanted to say that I think is really unique about families like ours is originally we planned on me having the first baby and Megan having the second, and then me carrying if we ever carried again, kind of going back and forth. But we had some fertility issues and difficulty trying to get Megan pregnant on the second one. Boo. So because of it, I carried both of our kids. A lot of people say, do you feel a lack of connection because you're not the biological mom?
I always felt this really fierce connection with them. And I think the biggest and coolest thing is that you see your spouse and your kids. I'll look at little Quinn and Tucker's faces and I see Candace, and it's incredible. And so you see the nature obviously in place, but then like Quinn does like this little eye thing.
Yeah.
She gets it from me. Like she does that. And so there are things that I've taught her too that's kind of cool. So it's like this infusion of nature and nurture and it's just kind of a cool experience.
Bye.
Bye.